I'd like to take up that thin line between crazy and entrepreneur, good ideas. I think I've been on both sides. 5,000 employees, 20 years of success, some not so successful as others. We benefited by the growth, very frankly, of Asia in the last 20 years. And some of the highlights I'd like to bring is what are the models that we can borrow from what Asia came from as primarily a supplier of services and products to the rest of the world, to then becoming a driver and consumer themselves. Sustainability, business, really trying to understand what is that next wave of education in an environment where technology, automation, business intelligence, many of the different words to use the same thing, that about 30% of our population is potentially at risk for losing their jobs. There are numbers higher than that, but the reality is it's a large chunk of society. Sustainable Development Goals by the UN, the 2030 Agenda, is nothing more than an aspirational goals that need to address the fact that we're using too many resources. So new jobs, in addition to the fact that we have to readjust all of our business models at the same time, is probably society's biggest goal, or biggest challenges in the next 20 to 30 years. So first is online education. It has to become a main driver within the area. Next is utilizing data management and analysis to really change the game. By using information governance as the beginning building blocks, you can start to baseline resources and start to develop a new relationship. Sustainable development, while it is talked about a lot, it is the commercial edge that we are all going to have to embrace. And whether it's forced upon us through the supply chain or through regulation, the reality is there is less resources and more people. And whether that's fresh air or carbon, or it's energy, water, waste, all of the various SDGs, it's a relationship to resources that we need to create a new competitive edge. That is to include smart cities, all of our urbanization that's taking place in the coming years. We need to use technology to bring work out to the smaller cities so that we can allow for opportunities to sprout in the smaller areas without bringing and driving so many people to the larger cities. Healthcare solutions, probably the biggest opportunity for technology and opportunities to embed new services that we basically have in Asia also, a lesser developed delivery mechanism for healthcare. The opportunity is to leap ahead instead of looking at the brick and mortar solutions, but looking at telemedicine, looking at the capabilities to deliver some of these cutting edge Internet of Things to the base barangay, the local communities, where we can deliver and have the best impact for society and also be smart business. So bottom line, how are we going to fund this? We've had a big challenge globally, not just in developing countries or developed countries, but expanding the PPP model to embrace not just toll roads, not just infrastructure, but health information, education, expanding that model into embrace more societal drivers. Digital infrastructure, without that, we can't reach the furthest out populations and bring them knowledge at the tip of their fingers. Training, capacity building, training, online education has to go hand in hand. All of these great tools, without that, really will go for naught. So overcoming these obstacles is no small challenge. Everyone needs to make a living and feed their families, in addition to this transition to a new way of doing business. So we're not short on our opportunities or challenges, but with that, we feel very optimistic that as new technologies and capabilities emerge, we will be able to succeed with them. And I think we're speaking about the same thing. Countries, policymakers, business need to come together for a much more powerful enabling environment for us to go through this change. We also need to endeavor to bring our policymakers real data. To be frank, policymakers, lawmakers tend to be behind the curve in implementing the laws that help society move forward. We need to bring them up to speed as fast as technology is moving forward, as fast as change is being forced upon us. We need to basically bring real data, real information, so policymakers can keep up to the pace of change. In the end, society really only changes through 3 steps: carrot, stick, and education. In some shape or fashion, change is forced upon us externally or internally, and these are the 3 levers. How and what mix are we going to utilize to help society move to this different place in relationship to bringing more success to our stakeholders, to our young people, and giving them a future? Again, I absolutely believe in the education portion needs to take a front runner versus the carrot and stick. But in reality, once we can get regulation and it all feeds in together, without policymakers staying up to pace with what the SDGs are an advantage to being able to put into our businesses, our lives, into our laws, we will quickly be able to become more competitive. Thank you.
Thank you, James.